everyone, welcome. My name is Kara Gilman, and I'm going to run you through a nice post-run stretch or post-workout stretch. We'll do some dynamic movements, some dynamic stretches, and then we'll do a little bit of longer holds. But this video is going to be very short and quick, so you can get your stretches in and then you can get on with your day. So we're going to start in child's pose. So bring your feet together, let your knees just get a little bit wider than your rib cage. Let your hips sink back over your heels and reach your arms out in front of you. And just let your forehead come down to your mat. If it doesn't quite make it there, you can take a block or a shirt or just something to place underneath your head. And of course, if child's pose does not feel comfortable, especially on the knees, you can just come onto your back. And we'll land here just for 5 rounds of breath. So let your eyes close. Allow your breath to deepen. Allowing your inhales and your exhales to get strong, long, and deep. And just taking a moment just to notice how you're feeling, to notice how your breath feels in your body. And to also notice in this very moment what you're focusing on, so what you're drawing your energy towards. It might be on something that's coming up later on today or something that happened this morning. And instead, can you just take a moment just to be right here in this space? And we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together. Take a deep breath in through your nose, fill it up. And then exhale, just release, let it go. And 2 more just like that. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale, breathe it out. And last one, inhale, deepest breath. And then exhale, release and let it go. And then slowly and gently, just take both of your hands and you'll reach them up a little bit, a couple inches, and then take it over to the right side. Keep your hips drawing back over your heels. Let your forehead, your belly, and your ribs just drop down. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can take your left hand and just stack it onto your right hand. Stay committed to the breath, so let the breath again still keep that length and that strength, smoothing it out. And we'll just take it over to the other side. So walk your hands up first, create that length first, and then walk your hands over towards the left side. And then you can just stack your right hand on top of your left hand again if you want a little bit more. Belly and ribs drop down, hips stay back over the heels, and be nice and heavy. And just breathe. And walk your hands right back up to center and come into a tabletop position. So come onto your hands and your knees. In your tabletop, your shoulders will come right over your wrists and your hips will come right over your knees. Press down through your palms, spread those hands out. And we'll move through some cow-cats. You can inhale, come right into your cow pose. Draw those shoulders in. Pull your heart forward through your arms. And on your exhale, press the ground away as you pull your belly in as you round your upper back. And also find this nice rounding of the lower back. If you have any lower back sensitivity, this can feel really, really good, especially after a hard workout or run. So take an inhale, come right back into that cow pose. Heart shines forward. And then exhale, round, curl, let your head drop. 2 more just like that. Inhale. And then exhale. And last one. Inhale. And then exhale, round and curl. On your inhale, just come back into that nice long spine in your tabletop. So pressing down through your hands, to the tops of your feet and your shins. And find length, so pull your heart forward. So draw those shoulders in just slightly. So a little bit of mix of cow and cat in your upper back. Take that right leg, just extend it back behind you. And then bend your right knee, wing it out to the side. And then just take a couple circles with that right knee, just to open up that hip a little bit. we'll do a little bit of balance work and core work. So take that right leg, extend it back behind you, let your right toes point down, find length in that back right leg. And notice your right hip's gonna wanna open up a little bit, so draw your inner thighs in towards each other. And take that left arm and just reach down in front of you. And notice right away you're gonna wanna collapse. So you're gonna resist the ground with your right hand in that back shin and pull your belly up and in just like you did in that cat pose. Take an inhale, find length. Then exhale, round and curl, squeeze in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round and curl. Just do 2 more. Inhale, moving with the breath. Exhale. And last one. Inhale. And then exhale. Extend your arm and leg out. Reach and stretch. Find that length. Then let that left hand come down to the ground. Take an inhale, pull your heart forward just a little bit more. Then an exhale, draw your knee into your nose. Step that right foot forward to your right thumb. And just let your left knee slide back just a little bit so you're in front of that left kneecap. Take an inhale, drop your hips forward just a touch. Find a little bit of cow in your chest, drawing those shoulders in, pulling your heart forward. And again, you'll also feel a nice opening from that left hip. Also feel your right hip draw back a little bit. And then on your exhale, half split. So back your hips up, let your right leg straighten. Feel free to walk your hands back. If you have blocks like me, or books, or a water bottle, or sneakers, you can place your hands on top of those to bring the floor a little bit closer to you. And then just let yourself fold. And we're gonna move through that a couple more times for some nice dynamic stretching. So take an inhale, hips drop, gaze lifts. Exhale, walk your hands back, let yourself fold. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. And last one. Inhale. And then exhale. And we're going to hold it here. So slide that right heel forward, just so your left hip stacks over your left knee. So you're still upright. You're not all the way back towards the back of your mat. So again, sneak that right heel forward. Draw your right hip back behind you. Pull your heart forward to find that cow again. Take an inhale, and then exhale, you're just gonna drop down. And this is where the block or whatever props you have can just walk forward a little bit. And you can just drop your head down. Right rib cage can melt down to that right thigh. If this is a lot, you'll just bend your right knee just slightly, or again, you can bring your props up a little bit higher for support. Let your head drop down as much as you can. So in this shape, not only to stretch out that right hamstring, but also to foster some recovery. So letting your heart rate slow down, letting your breath deepen, and just welcoming in this relaxation, this ease, grounding you down a bit. Take 1 more round of breath. Breathe in, and breathe out. Now listen carefully, it's gonna be a little confusing. Inhale, lift your chest up. Keep your right leg straight. Just turn your right toes over to the right side of your mat. Now I'm going to turn away from you here, so listen carefully. You're going to take your hands and your blocks or whatever props you got, and you're going to walk it over to the right side of your mat. So we're going to target the outer hip and the IT band. So turn and twist your left rib cage over to the right side of your mat. You're on the razor edge of your right foot. Take an inhale and then exhale, fold down. Now you might need to bend your right knee just a little bit. That's totally fine. This can be pretty intense, so just be nice and gentle with it. And again, we're gonna hold this just for a couple rounds of breath. See where you can soften your elbows, your shoulders, your face. You can feel a lot of sensation with this shape, so just be gentle with yourself. And the breath is a great way of gauging where you need to be. If it's too choppy, just come out of it. If you're finding a nice smooth breath, maybe you go a little bit deeper on that exhale. 1 round of breath here, breathe in and breathe out. Now walk your hands back to center, bring them to the inside of your right foot, bend your right knee, let that right foot get nice and wide, and let your hips drop forward, just like we did in the beginning. Now from here, you can come onto your forearms, you can come onto your blocks, your props. We're gonna come into what's called our lazy lizard stretch. So you're on your forearms, you're rounding your upper back, you're folding. You also have the option of coming onto the right outer edge of your foot and let the right knee drop out a little bit, and just moving your hips side to side. By taking this more externally rotated shape, you're gonna get a little more into the glutes and the outer hip. You can always slide this left knee back a little bit to get a little bit more of psoas, hip flexor stretch. Feel free to just move around side to side. And take one more round of breath here. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now bring the right sole of your foot back down onto the mat. Draw your right inner thigh in towards your right rib cage. Come up onto your hands or your props. Tuck your back toes under and lift that thigh bone up. Now hug your right hip towards the back of the mat. Pull your heart forward. Try to get this left leg nice and strong and straight so you feel a little bit of heat there. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, walk your hands over towards the left side. So we're going to come into a nice straddle. Allow your feet to line up in one long line. Take an inhale, come into your flat back. So you're going to walk your hands forward a good 5 or 6 inches. So your hands and your shoulders line up. Take an inhale, and then exhale, just fold down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, weight moves forward towards your toes. Heart pulls forward. Exhale, let yourself fold. And last one here, inhale, and then exhale. And then we'll hold here. So feel free to walk your hands back so your fingers are in line with your toes. Your head can just drop down. And you're more than welcome to take a little side stretch. You can bend and straighten your legs so you get more into the inner hamstrings and the groin a little bit, and inner hips. One more cycle of breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Now walk your hands back forward to that flat back shape. So again, hands back forward, shoulders and wrists line up. Your weight moves towards your toes, and then hug your feet in towards each other. Take an inhale, and then on your exhale, just twist open, reach your left arm up to the sky. And we'll do a little bit of belly work. So take an inhale, then on your exhale, throw the left arm underneath the right arm and reach for that front shin. Do that 3 more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. And 2 more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. And last one. Inhale, reach it up. And then exhale, twist. Take your left hand, grab a hold of that shin, and then you're gonna take this right hand, I'm playing a little bit of twister here, you're gonna walk it forward even more, and then weight moves forward to your toes even more as you open up to the top of your mat. So you're gonna take your head, peek underneath your bicep, and open up towards the right. For a nice little upper shoulder stretch and twist. You can also feel a nice release through the back of the legs as well. And take 1 more round of breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Take your right hand, just let it rest on top of your left hand. Draw your right rib cage to your right thigh. Let your head drop down for a moment. And then walk your hands to the top of your mat. We'll all meet into our runner's lunge. Take an inhale, look forward. So hands are framing your front right foot. And then on your exhale, just drop that left knee down. Bring your right knee back to meet your left knee. Take 1 round of cow-cat. Take an inhale for that cow pose. And then exhale, round, come into your cat. Inhale, come back into that nice neutral spine. And we'll take it to either side. So extend your left leg back behind you. Shoot it back. Bend the knee, let that hip open up. So you're drawing your left knee to the outside of your mat. And then take those circles, move around and shake it out. We'll do a little bit of that hip stability and that core work. So let your left leg extend straight back. Again, notice your left hip's gonna wanna open. So do the best you can to draw your inner thighs in and let the work come into that supported leg. So you're reaching down through that right shin to lift your right hip up a little bit more. And then take that right arm, reach it out in front of you. Stretch and reach. Get as long as you can. Take an inhale. And then your exhale, tap elbow to knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, tap. We have 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, tap. Inhale. Exhale, tap. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, tap. Extend extend your arm and leg out. Just hold for a moment. And then let that right hand come down. Take a breath in, inhale. Then exhale, draw it back in. Left foot steps forward. Again, scoot your right knee back just a little bit so you're in front of that kneecap. Hands are framing your left foot. Let your hips just drop forward. Lift your gaze up. Draw those shoulders in. Take an inhale. Then on your exhale, back your hips up. Walk your hands back. Feel free to grab a hold of your props. And let yourself fold. And we'll pulse like this 3 more times. So inhale, walk the props forward. Drop your hips forward. Look up. Exhale, walk those hands back. Let yourself fold. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And then exhale. And we stay here. So slide the left heel forward a little bit more. This will make it more comfortable so we can hold it longer. Walk your hands and your props forward. Take an inhale, cut the left hip back behind you. Don't be afraid to get a little bit wider. You can always walk your left foot a little bit over to the left to create more space to square forward. And then exhale, just let yourself fold. Drop your head down. Enjoy this nice stretch and release. One more round, breathe in. And breathe out. On your inhale, let your chest lift. Keep your left leg nice and straight. And again, listen carefully, this is where things can get confusing. So come onto the razor edge of your left foot. Walk your hands over to the left side of your mats. You're gonna draw your right rib cage over towards the left, so you're feeling a nice little twist. And then just drop your head down. You can bend that left knee as much as you like to support it. If it feels like this is too much sensation, if you want more, you're gonna flex your left toes and drop your head down. And take 1 more round of breath, breathe in. And breathe out. Walk your hands back. Bring your hands to the inside of your left foot and bend your left knee so it comes right over that ankle. Let your hips drop forward. Take an inhale, just look forward. And then exhale, option to come onto your forearms, come onto your props, or you can just stay up on your hands. Just round your back, drop your head down. Option to come onto the razor edge of the left foot. To get a little bit more of the outer hip and the glute. And then you can move your hips a little bit side to side. Feel that nice release. Last round of breath, breathe in. And breathe out. I'm gonna come onto the sole of that left foot, tuck your back right toes under, lift the right leg up, and start to add some heat. Bring that left hip back towards the heel, pull your heart forward. And then on your exhale, walk your hands over to the right. You're gonna come to the right side of your mat. You're gonna turn all of your 10 toes to face over to the right, so your straddle. I'm gonna face towards you because it's kind of awkward to have my butt face towards you. So imagine that I'm facing over to the right side of my mat. So take an inhale, pull your heart forward. Exhale, you'll fold back down. We'll do those 2 more pulses, just like the other side. Inhale. And then exhale. And last one here. Inhale. And then exhale. Again, take a moment, walk your hands in line with your toes, drop your head down. Shake it out a little bit. One more cycle of breath, breathe in, and breathe out. Now I'm gonna position myself to face away from you, just so you can see this so it's less confusing. So take an inhale again, you're gonna walk your hands back forward so your shoulders and your wrists line up. Take an inhale, flat back, then your exhale, right arm reaches up. Take an inhale, then on your exhale, reach for your front left leg. Feel that nice twist. A couple more times. Inhale, reach it up. On your exhale, twist. Let's do it 2 more times here. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, twist. And last one, inhale. And then exhale, twist. And we hold. So right hand goes to hold that shin. Walk your left hand forward. Again, having your hand on something will make a big difference because it'll make your arm a little bit longer so you can peek your head underneath your left bicep. Weight's moving towards your toes. Hips are lifting up. Head's dropping down, and you're rotating to the front of your mat. And take 1 more round of breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring your left hand right on top of your right hand. Draw your left rib cage to your left thigh. Let your head drop down. And then walk your hands to the top of your mat. Come into that runner's lunge. So take an inhale, just look forward. And on your exhale, drop your right knee down. Come back into that tabletop. Left knee will be your right knee. Take an inhale, come into your cow pose. On your exhale, round, come into your cat. Make your way to Anahatasana. So keep your hips over your knees. Just walk your arms out in front of you. This is going to give you a nice shoulder and chest stretch. Think of your child's pose. So let your forehead drop down. This is going to be a lazy Anahatasana. So your heart and your chest and your ribs and everything's going to melt down towards the ground. And just breathe. And 1 more round of breath. Breathe in. And then breathe out. And come into your Sphinx pose. So let your chest just lift up. Bring your shoulders over your elbows to start, and then just slide your feet back. Squeak, squeak, squeak. And as you position here, slide your elbows just a little bit past the shoulders. And then press down through your palms and your forearms. Pull your heart forward. Take an inhale, then on your exhale, just bring the right ear down to your right shoulder. Drop your head down and around. Just switch sides. Bring your head right back to center. Take 1 more round of breath in this back bend. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. We'll come into one of my favorite postures, what I like to call slumber party pose. So you're going to let your palms stack. You're going to take your elbows nice and wide. Just let your forehead rest on your hands. Bend your knees. Take your legs a little bit side to side. So massage and rinse out those quadriceps. And then we'll stretch them out. Take your left leg, just drop it down to the floor. Keep your left hand underneath your forehead, bend your back right knee, and just grab a hold of that foot. Now draw your right inner thigh in towards your left. Hug your foot in towards your bum. And just feel this nice release for the quadricep. If this is fairly easy for you, you're not feeling a lot of sensation, you can kick your foot into your hand and lift your right thigh bone up. That will add a little bit more heat. But let your breath be that way of knowing if you want to go a little bit deeper or try something new. If your breath is already shallow, you already feel really pretty tense in this posture, just stay right here, hugging your heel to your glute. And we'll just switch sides. So take your right hand, slide underneath your forehead, bend your back left knee, grab a hold of that foot, draw your inner thighs in towards each other, let your forehead just melt and rest down onto your hands. Take 1 more round of breath, breathe in, and then breathe out. And then release your hand from your foot. Come onto your hands and your knees. Come back into that child's pose, that shape that we started with. So bring your feet together. Feel free to take your knees a little bit wider this time. So maybe they come all the way to the edges of your mat. Just coming a little bit more into a back bend now that we're nice and stretched out. Forehead will come down to your mat. Again, belly and ribs melt down. Breath is deep, strong, and long. And just take a moment. Notice what's changed, notice what's shifted physically, but most importantly, mentally. So it's amazing how just by focusing on our breath, by focusing on one thing, we're able to find more clarity. We're able to feel more grounded. more rounds of breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then walk your hands in. Gently come into a seated position. And we'll come into what's called Sukhasana. One shin will just cross in front of the other. Allow your palms to come to your thighs. Let your palms face up towards the ceiling and just let your eyes close. You can also come onto your back and come into corpse pose for a nice Shavasana if you like. But if you're short on time, just join me in this nice cross-legged seat. And again, take a moment just to feel, to check in, to notice, to pay attention. And most importantly, just taking a moment to be grateful. It's so easy for us to judge whatever we do, whether it's our run or our yoga practice. But take a moment just to appreciate what this time on your mat today, what did it give you? What did it teach you? And then take that energy, take that love, that thought, and then bring it right between your hands. Let your hands come right to your heart in prayer position. And we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. 2 more. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. And last one. Inhale, deepest breath. And then let it go. Bow your head down towards your heart, sealing this all in. Let this practice give you love. Let this practice give you light. Allow your head to lift. Allow your eyes to open. Namaste.